cameras on, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay, then let's sit it down and put where I'm going. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, good deal. Good deal.
Hopefully he'll do that first part.
Well, he will, because I don't know how to edit it, so that's the way that goes. Yep. You know, the recording part has been the hardest thing I've had to do. Because I may need it. And I've got a few little things here we may or may not go over. So. Alrighty. I guess I'm ready if you are today. So how has your week or two been? It's been 2 weeks since we met.
Yeah. Getting a full caseload.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling good about that?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
busy. I'm busy.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
That's how you make money.
Yeah.
I know. I'm having a little trouble with my button here. It's Monday. It's been a rough day this morning. Anyhow,
Yeah. I went and saw kids today.
Did you?
I had one come in and say, my stomach hurts, and I'm like,
to the nurse, huh?
and he's like, I don't have a fever, but he didn't want to talk, and I'm like, yeah.
So did you send him to the nurse or back to the classroom?
I said, do you even want to talk and be here? No. So I sent back. It's like, he's been a hard kid to crack.
Been a tough cookie, huh?
Yeah.
So how old is he?
10 or 11. I think.
Has he done this to you before? The I don't want to talk thing? What have you done about that in the past?
Last week, he was looking at his Chromebook, and everyone would get onto him as Chromebook, and I just kind of was like, let me on Chromebook, and after 15 minutes, because he was talking to me. Okay. After 15 minutes, he was like, okay.
I'm done.
I play with the puzzle. I'll do whatever. So he's not
What's his diagnosis? What's he?
Well, what's going on with him? I put him down PTSD because he's was a foster kid and he was adopted. And well, his biological mom abused him, and now his adopted mom is abusing him psychologically and physically and all that stuff. And so anyway, I put down PTSD. He doesn't like being around his grandpa. He was living with his grandpa and his dad and his grandmother. And so his grandpa doesn't like him being on that computer because it's a disgrace.
Oh.
Yeah, because his grandpa is.
Okay,
he believes in work.
Right.
And so
this 11-year-old child should be out working instead of being on the computer.
He should come home and mow the grass or something.
Right. Okay. Well, that's his worldview, his belief, I guess. So, is that me?
That's you.
Sorry about that. Wonderful. What a day for a daydream. Okay, so I'll hold this, and if it rings again, I'll be able to immediately brush it.
Well, they're seeing all kinds of
That's right. This is just the way it goes sometimes.
Right. Yep.
So that's good. We get to see all kinds of stuff. So, okay, PTSD. How long have you had him? How long has he been your client? And who sent him to you? Was it like a DHS thing? Or?
Well, I asked his dad, and his dad said it's not CASA, but it's his
Caseworker?
No, it's not like even a caseworker. It's a court-appointed
Special advocate, that's
special.
awesome.
I don't. It's not even
That's
cost.
awesome.
Anyway, but his
Attorney, maybe?
attorney, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And so, but he called it a special name. But anyway, said Charlotte Lyden.
Oh, okay, so that is the attorney.
His attorney, yeah. And so he, well, it's a she. She said that it would be good for them to be in therapy.
Okay.
And so
Is the mom still in the picture?
they have to see the mom every weekend.
So
Supervised.
okay, that was my next question. How many children are there?
4.
Okay, and they're all with dad. And
All with dad right now. Dad is afraid that he's going to lose custody. Not have full custody. Partial custody.
with adopted mom. Because she's
Adopted mom apparently has 25 dogs, lived in a house trailer, and has 3 bedrooms. Because one of the kids told me that the dogs had their own room and the 4 of them would have to share a room.
oh, and how old are the other children?
I have an older sibling of his. She's 11, going to junior high, so between 11 and 12.
Okay.
And then the younger ones are elementary school age.
So 11 or 12 is the oldest of all 4 of them. Oh,
and she acts like she's 17 and rolls the roost. I mean, like, not in that way, but she's the mom of the group. I mean, to be honest, she's more mature than the dad.
So this was a group of siblings that were adopted.
And then the dad told me to family therapy, and I didn't know what I wanted to do to him, but I kind of wanted to slap him when he said, I didn't want the kids in the first place.
Oh, no, in front of the kids.
No.
Okay, well, at least he wasn't in front of the kids.
Yeah.
So.
Which he told him that, though.
He told kids that?
That he didn't want them in the very beginning.
Were they related to them in some way
No,
when they adopted them?
Like the mom, his wife wanted to be a mother, and he's like, I wasn't for it. She just adopted him, and now they're my crew.
Well, she couldn't just adopt them. He had to sign the papers and stuff too.
Well, I understand that.
So, at some point in time, he agreed to that, even though he may not have wanted to.
Yeah.
Sounds like he needs some counseling himself.
And he provokes the violence. Like he encourages them to fist fight and all that, and
with each other.
With each other and other people and other kids if they pick on.
So are they bullies at school?
No, they're not bullies. They literally, like, if someone comes up and says something to another sibling, the other sibling will get in a fight with them.
So they take up for each other.
Right.
Which is kind of understandable.
Yeah.
That they.
Especially older sister.
So she feels like she has to protect these 3 younger kids. And, I mean, I can understand her feeling that way. And she needs to learn. But here's the deal. I've got so much in my head about this. The older sibling is the protector, it sounds like. Yet she is still a child herself. But she doesn't feel there's anyone she can depend on to be the protector, so she can't turn that role over to anybody.
Right.
Yet it's not really her role.
Well,
it shouldn't be.
We discussed this in therapy that
I knew you would.
well, that and also Dad's trying to push having a relationship with her mom often. And I told Dad, I said, the more you push it, the more she's gonna resist.
Fight against it. Yeah.
And he said, why is that? I said, well, because he's a teenager. I said, plus on top of that, she has a history of abuse from her. Why would she trust her?
Right. Does Dad feel that Mom has changed?
No. He wants her to have a relationship with adopted mother is because in case something happens to him. And that's why.
Does he think something may happen to him?
No, he just said just in case. Like he said, like a daughter needs a relationship with her mom, and I'm like, yeah, but see it from her perspective.
A daughter needs a relationship with her dad too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The other therapist that I is kind of ironic me saying this. I made friends with the other therapist that has younger kids, and it's like, so that's how we became friends, and we get together and we talk about this family. And she said, "Dad's really immature." I said, "I agree."
You know, sometimes people feel like, you know, he didn't want this bunch of kids anyway, and it's okay for him to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't you think? Or is it? I mean,
It's okay.
It is, because that's how he feels.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, he needs to learn to deal with it. I'm not saying he will ever feel differently. He may not. He really may not. But it is his life. This is what he has now. And he needs to learn to maybe be more mature about it, but at least understand that. And he may understand this is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But try to do it in a way that's positive for the kids so that they won't be in this horrible negative place.
Well, like what I'm seeing is more we talk about this is Dad's more laid back and Grandpa's more, you go to bed at 8 o'clock on the dot. You get up at this certain time and no questions asked.
You live in my house, you do as I say.
Right, and Dad's more relaxed, like, oh, you can watch movies until 11 o'clock at night. Grandpa's like 8 o'clock, you're in bed.
So you met with both of them, Dad and Grandpa?
No.
Okay.
Dad, that's what Dad told me. Dad,
Okay.
Grandpa's more straight to the point. Like,
well, he's stricter,
he's
sounds like.
Absolutely.
And he wants more,
more routine, more structure.
Yeah, structure, that was the word I was looking for, yeah. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, which is a good thing, that's not a bad thing. But then there's Dad, who's more laid back, so the kids are going, I don't know what to do, you know. I want to do what Dad says because it's easy. Woo-hoo, I get to stay up, I get to do all this stuff, but then me no Grandpa, you know. So that probably causes some friction within the household itself.
And then like older sister's like, oh, he's such a whine bag, calling her little brother. Just get up and do your chores and stop whining about it.
So she's learned that if I do what I'm supposed to do, nobody gets in my stuff.
She's like, Grandpa loves me because I do what I'm supposed to do. And like,
and she's a pleaser too.
Mm-hmm. And then her younger brother, he just he tells Grandpa that he hates him and he wants to leave and he's awful.
Oh, no.
And this is what her sister telling me, and I'm like, oh yeah. So like she comes and complains about her brother.
Right, right. Because she looks at him like, you know, we've got it good here. He's messing up our stuff.
Right.
And she probably worries that if he keeps complaining, things will go wrong there because they've gone wrong everywhere else she's been. I mean, that's kind of, you know, maybe that's not what she's thinking at all, but that's kind of what I'm thinking she's thinking. Wow. So this is a little boy then, the one that's the complainer that won't talk to you. He'll talk to you a little while, but he doesn't have a lot to say. You know, you probably have some 11-year-olds and they will talk the whole hour.
I had one more right before.
And then you have others and they give you very little. So it just depends, don't you think? What does that depend on? Whether they talk or whether they don't?
Their personality, first
Exactly, that's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, the one I picked up at 8 o'clock, 8:30 this morning, she's like, oh, you here for me? Jumping up and down, telling me about her dog. And I'm like, okay.
Happy to see you. Yeah. Well, so then what do you do with those that don't talk? Um,
I'm trying to figure that out because
I probably would, I might not keep them the whole time.
and I think he likes to manipulate too.
I was just going to say, but I wouldn't let them run my session. And when they shut down and you say, okay, let's go back, then you're letting them run your session, you know? So you could say, okay, you may be finished, but these are some things that I've noticed that I want you to hear from me.
Well, he keeps saying, I want to throw up, I want to throw up.
Well, there's a trash can right here. I'll take care of you if you throw up. And when we're done here, we'll go to the nurse. You know? I mean, if you don't think he's sick. If you think he's sick, then obviously do the right thing, you know.
Well, yeah, he went to the nurse and he said he didn't have a fever, but he said his stomach hurt.
Okay. Well, maybe he needed to go to the bathroom. Maybe he, maybe it wasn't hurting at all. Maybe he's figured out that if his stomach hurts, he gets out of class, or he gets out of chores, or, like you said, that may be part of his manipulative personality. So, I mean, I may be a little harsh, and that may sound a little harsh, but I would say, Johnny, I'm really sorry your tummy hurts, but, there's a trash can right here if you throw up, and I'll make sure you're taken care of. So tell me a little bit more about what you're talking about, or something like that.
Well, like he came in moping, I said, hard morning.
Yeah.
And he brought out his dinosaurs he had in his pocket.
Okay.
And he said, my stomach hurts. I said, well, you can go nurse? No, she said, I don't have a fever. I'm starting moping.
So he didn't get his needs met when he went to the nurse, it sounds like. And what needs do you think he has that he needs to get met?
Apparently he didn't want to be at school, it sounded like. But the thing is, if he wasn't at school, oh, today's Monday, ooh, Dad's off.
So Dad's home today.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd rather be home with Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Okay. Yeah. So there you are. He'd rather be home with Dad, so he didn't want to do anything anywhere else probably. So those are the little things that you just kind of keep in mind, and even you can even bring that into your session. Oh, I know your dad's at home today. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Well, I don't usually see him on Mondays. This was
just a different.
It was just PD's out, and I thought I'll grab a couple while I'm here. And
why is BB out today?
Fall break.
All week?
I drove up there on Friday. They were all closed, and I'm like, what? Like, no one told me. And so they were out Friday and today.
Is that right? Huh. They'll probably be out the whole week of Thanksgiving too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Do you have a plan for that?
Well, I talked to Miss Danielle up there, and I want to ask her, do we need to print off these, like, when I have parent sessions, give these to the parents, say, hey, if you miss, like, I miss your kid at least twice during the holidays, or you'll be discharged. That's what some of the therapists do here.
Oh, really? So they have a handout that they send them?
I don't know if it's a handout or verbal, but I think if it's a handout and you saw the bottom line and
then you understand what you're doing at least, right? Oh, okay. Cool. So, but just because the kids are out don't mean the parents are.
Right.
Work and stuff. So you still have to try to figure out how to work around those schedules, I guess.
I know. I talked to another therapist, and she said her main goal is if the kid is under 12, she will not do not family session, but an individual session because it's a waste of time for her, and the client is not therapeutic.
What do you mean? At the office she won't, or what?
Period.
What?
She will not do a telehealth session.
Oh, a telehealth. Oh, I didn't know you said telehealth. I'm sorry, I missed that part.
A telehealth session with anyone below the age of 12.
Well, you can do some stuff And you can at least get your 23 minutes. You may not get 45 or an hour, but there's some games that you can play. Like, I've done things like look around the room and find something that starts with an A. And those can be used for kids that need to focus. You know, you can say, okay, we're working on focus and staying on task as long as they do the following directions.
Well, I know with some of my kids, like their moms and dads work at home and you hear yelling and screaming.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like.
I know, and sometimes it is hard. It is hard. But even with the 12-year-olds, sometimes for me, those are tough, you know.
I mean, like last time I did a telehealth session over the summer, I've seen people's noses and I'm just like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The ceiling.
And that is true of adults as well as kids. Let me tell you, I've got some adults that'll be sitting there with their camera pointed at the ceiling. I'm like, can I see your face today? And one that I had was like, well, I hadn't done my hair yet, so no, I really didn't want you to see my face. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, telehealth is not my favorite way, but it is very effective. And sometimes if I don't do it with a video, I will do a phone call. And that might keep their attention better for a 8 or 9-year-old.
I don't know about that because I had a 12-year-old that was playing Fortnite.
Well, I did have one of those too, and he was pretty good about staying on task and paying attention, but it got to where I couldn't do video or phone sessions with him, and I discharged him because he just wouldn't be compliant. He would play his game, whatever game it was, and he'd have his friends over and be playing with them. So yeah, I was like, no, this is not working anymore. But yeah, so telehealth may not be a good thing, but it might be something you could do for the parents, and if you can't do it for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be at least a session in their chart for that week.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, maybe that would be something else, and I think Matt mentioned it in the meeting the other day, but on those weeks, if you have any treatment plans or anything, and you're not able to fill your time, do treatment plans that are billable to help fill some of that time, because that adds up eventually, you know.
That'll beef it up a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It does. And you may or may not be able to get some of those kiddos to come to the office. I don't know, you know, how that'll work out. But
well, I do have one kid, I don't know what to do. I honestly don't. With him, for him, it looks like a discharge situation, but his mom is in the hospital in Little Rock. Seems like she's in critical condition, like double pneumonia and like flesh-eating bacteria.
oh,
Yeah.
I've heard of those things. But
Yeah.
wow.
But the kid only has like 3 therapy sessions left because he's not cured. I can't justify his diagnosis as any worse, if not better. His mom has lost her, basically, his kid's life's been kind of shaken. So his mom went to the washroom and started cleaning. His grandmother passed away. His mom went into the hospital with all his illnesses that's going on. And then the car got recovered.
Oh, how old is this child?
He's 10 years old.
And he lives with
his mom, his brother, and his sister.
how old are the siblings?
19. The sister has no license. And the brother, he is on his way to jail or prison.
And how old is he?
17, almost 18.
Oh dear.
Because he was telling me, yeah, my brother was found in Jacksonville or something like that.
Hmm.